Welcome to Straight Talk Africa, coming to you from our viewer headquarters in Washington, D.C. I'm your host, Vincent Makori. Since his second term in office began, U.S. President Donald Trump has issued over 80 executive actions reshaping the way the United States relates to the international community. He's also initiating big changes in the federal government of the United States. Patsy Widakuswara brings us some of the highlights from his speech.
President Donald Trump's Tuesday evening speech marks his first address to a joint session of Congress since he began his second term on January 20.
For more insight into these evolving realities, I'm joined from Johannesburg in South Africa by political analyst Marisa Lorenzo. And here with me in studio is Joseph Zlavik, a partner at Scribe Strategies and Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Straight Talk Africa. Welcome to Straight Talk Africa, coming to you from our headquarters in Washington, D.C. I'm your host, Vincent Makori. The healthcare sector in a lot of countries in the African continent is not serving the needs of the patients or the needs of its medical personnel. 20 years after the Abuja Declaration, where the African Union committed to allocating 15% of its budget to health, this financial responsibility is not being achieved. Some countries are doing better than others. For more insight, I turn to my guests. From Nairobi, Kenya, I'm joined by Dr. Catherine Chobutunji. She is the Executive Director of the African Population and Health Research Center. And from Phoenix, Arizona, in the U.S., I'm joined by W. Jude Moore, a non-resident fellow at the Center for Global Development and former Minister of Public Works of Liberia. It's a pleasure to have both of you on Straight Talk Africa. If I may start with you, Dr. Chobutunji, what do you make of their sentiments? Those are people speaking in the capitals of Nigeria and Kenya.
I think I'll speak to the person speaking from Kenya.
Now, countries in sub-Saharan Africa that face high inflation seem to be more prone to adapt different kinds of cryptocurrency as a way of to preserve savings and invest. For insight into this complex reality, we bring in our expert from London. I'm joined by Bright Simmons, a social innovator and entrepreneur. Welcome, Bright, to Straight Talk Africa.
Thank you for having me, Vincent.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
It's really a pleasure. Now, we have introduced cryptocurrency. We kind of mentioned some of the countries that have embraced it and have tried to use it. First, for you, how do you gauge the literacy level of cryptocurrency and investing in cryptocurrency across Africa?
It's entirely demographic. So young people, some say the Gen Z